Yo, what's going on, people? Dogysamich here for yet another episode of Georgia on the Grind, a podcast about Georgia fighting game community events. Going to be another usual episode this time around. Talk about what happened last weekend, a couple things coming up this week, and really and truly looking towards next week where a couple of big events are going down. So starting with this past weekend, there's two events that happened in the state. First one being Breakout, Zone Breakers bi-weekly event, and it looks like they had a pretty good time as per usual up there. Of the 5 events, they had a tournament for Ultimate, for Tekken 7, for Strive, and for Skullgirls. Should not be a surprise at this point. It's not a surprise to me. They could not get BlazBlue Central Fiction off of the ground. And I'm assuming that they really went through the ringer because Zone Breakers already has their VODs up. They've had them up for, I think, a day or so, which is very surprising. So for the first time, probably ever, I don't think it's literally ever, but I'm covering my bases, finally can include the VODs in the details if you're interested about that. So the other event, which was admittedly the much bigger event, MomoCon. For some people, it was Combo Breaker at home. For many others, though, it looked like it was the time of their lives because the entire weekend, my social media feeds were riddled with pictures of everybody just having a blast. Without going through all the details of who won what, which, you know, it's kind of crossed my mind a couple of episodes, and I think I might try to slide that in the future. Something that I thought was really interesting was that for any game that had doubles, for the team that won doubles, one of those players also won the singles for the game. The only exception to that is Ultimate. So for Rivals of Aether, one of the members of the doubles team won singles, for Brawlhalla, and for Mario Kart. So some people got paid. That's what I'm getting at. Some people, they're eating good. But again, it looks like everybody had a blast. Speaking of Mario Kart, I actually tuned into a little bit of it, and you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm well versed in the competitive scene of Mario Kart, but it looked like there was some real killers out there. I was educated by the play, to say the least. So if you get a chance to check that out, that's something that tickles your fancy, you might want to take a little peek at that. Maybe you can learn something. But moving on to this week, because good that we had fun and all, but people want to have more fun in the future. For the weeklies, those are the only things that are happening this week, and I still only know of 2. Realistically, I can say I only know of 1, because ESA is still MIA. Check the Twitter page again just to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I see no talk of a schedule, so I'm going to assume it's not happening. I could be wrong, but I have nothing that says that it is. 404, on the other hand, is continuing business as usual, and they will be open all other days now that they are through with MomoCon. Some things to note about their schedule this week. The Friday floating spot is going to go to Under Night, and this Saturday, it says that they are having a month. I don't know if this means like it's the monthly tournament for all the games, monthly tournament for a game, but on Saturday, they're going to have a second Strive tournament. They're going to have Dragon Ball FighterZ, and they're going to have Street Fighter 5 and 4. I'm assuming it's Ultra. But 2 Street Fighters, 1 Strive, 1 Dragon Ball. Pull up. That's in the notes. It says to pull up. Yeah, that's everything that I know of this week. Next week is where a lot of the fun and festivities are going to be happening for people again. Before I talk into the 2 big tournaments, which is a rehash because I've mentioned it before, I do want to point out a loosely related, slightly fighting game adjacent thing. It's not literally fighting games, it's actually sports games, but it is hosted by a fighting game group. That is the Reboot Crew in Macon. Next Saturday, on the 11th, the Reboot Crew is hosting the Retro Sports Tournament. I like the name, quick, fast, and to the point. This tournament is going to have NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, and NBA Streets Volume 2. Now, aside from Streets, since we know Streets is on a console, I can't tell you really anything other than the tournament's going to happen and it's going to be these games. I can't tell you if they're going to be on arcade, seeing as Reboot is a barcade. I can't tell you what consoles they're going to happen on. I don't have that information right now, but I thought the idea was cool, so I was going to throw it out to you. If you're interested, you should already know where to get up with Reboot, because I put their information in the description many times. I'll do it again, even though there isn't a Smash GG at this point. If I get any more information between now and next week, which I'm assuming they're going to put a registration page up, I'll make sure to include that in the next episode. Moving on to the two events that have been discussed in the recent episodes, but, trying to remind people, make sure everybody has the information. First event, or I guess I should say second event, that's happening on the 11th is Data FGC's +2 on block, keeping the monthly consistent and strong coming out of the Contenders Esports Cumberland and Smyrna. Now remember, they lowered the prices of the venue, and this time they're going to keep it at one day. Gonna have Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, King of Fighters 15, Guilty Gear Strive, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they are going to try their hand at BlazBlue Central Fiction. They might actually get like a small round robin. But what is missing from their usual lineup is they are not going to have any sort of Smash. Again, reason being, because 10 minutes down the road, on the 11th and the 12th, is going to be the return of Georgia's Smash Major, Tipped Off 13, the reunion. And that's going to be, it's down the road, but I just thought about this. Down the road, but it's in Marietta at the Kennesaw State University Marietta campus. They're going to have Smash Ultimate singles and doubles. They're going to have Melee singles and doubles. And surprise, surprise, they're going to have DDR. Somebody's pulling up with the DDR machine. I'm pretty sure I know who that is, but going to have a lot of good excitement going on right down the road from Data FGC. So, if you're interested in both the games, maybe you can hop in a car, take a little trip down the road. 10 minutes is close enough that you can probably walk and get some good exercise. That might be a good idea, but make sure to pull up and get your games in. That's the theme for today, I guess. Pull up. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, 404. That's all I got. Trying to keep this one kind of short. I said I wanted to speed run this one, but I didn't really come out of the gates with it and everything. Really expanded on a little more than I wanted to, but just over 8 minutes at this point. I think that's more than enough. Event page is already going to be up at this point. Again, as always, thank you for giving me a listen, and see you next time. Until then, be easy, yo. Peace.